Well, today I'm going to do an experiment with my EVH 50-watt Stealth. As you know, it comes stock with JJ 12AX7s in the preamp section. So what I did today is I went to Motor City Guitar and I picked up some Tung Sol 12AX7 tubes, and I'm going to go ahead and swap out the JJs for the Tung Sols and see if it makes a difference sonically and maybe with how the amp feels. But before I do that, I'm going to record some riffs with the JJ tubes, and then I'm going to replace those with the Tung Sol tubes, and I'm going to record the same exact riffs with the same exact settings and mic placement on the cab and see if there's a difference. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I'm kind of curious to see what the results are as well. Alright, so I just put the Tung Sol tubes in, and I put them in on channel 2 and channel 3, which is the blue and red channels. And I'm going to play the amp and listen to it in the room. I got my in-ears out. And I'm just going to go ahead and listen to it in the room and give you my first reaction and see if there's a difference. That sounds really good, but without playing them side by side with the different tubes, you know, it's going to be hard to really tell the difference. But I'm hearing some clarity there, really good clarity. I'll have to listen back to these tracks later and see if there's a difference in clarity between using the JJs and the Tung Sols, but so far I'm hearing a really good clarity on the blue channel. Let's see what the red channel's like. Alright, again, it's hard to tell without having them side by side if there's any difference, but it sounds great, and there's a lot of good clarity there, and the feel is really good, but I remember the feel being really good with the other tubes. So now I'm going to record the same riffs that I played with the JJs, and I'm going to put them side by side, and when I'm editing the video, I'm going to, blend the tracks together and put them really close together so I can hear the difference. And I'm going to see if I can hear a difference when I'm doing the editing. This is going to be really interesting because, again, I've never done this before, and I wonder if it's subtle or if there's a really big difference. We're going to find out after I record all this stuff and I start editing everything and putting it together. Okay, so here's what I noticed. In the room, I could tell that there's a little bit more clarity with the Tung Sol tubes over the JJs. As far as the recording goes, I think you could still hear the difference between the two regarding the clarity, but it's pretty subtle when it comes to the mic'd up cab. And then you also have to consider the compression that YouTube puts on all of the videos. But again, I can really say that there is a bit of a difference between them in the room, especially when it comes to clarity. So if you want something that's a little more gnarly and more aggressive, I would say go with the JJs. But if you want a little more clarity, then I would go with the Tung Sol tubes. Again, with the mic'd up cab and the compression on YouTube, it's going to be hard for you guys to hear the difference like I'm hearing here, and that's why I'm giving you my thoughts. Because with stuff like this, I think it's imperative that I give you the best description that I can. Well, I hope you enjoyed this experiment as much as I did. It was kind of fun swapping the tubes out and finding out for myself for the first time if there really is a difference between them. And again, is there? Yeah, it's subtle, but it's there. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And to all of our subscribers, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, because we got a lot of great stuff coming up. And I'll see you on the next one.